Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to begin. I think if the kids on the playground want to come find their families, that would be best. Thank you. Welcome, one and all, to the Vista Charter School expansion groundbreaking ceremony. We wanted to have a momentous occasion to celebrate this momentous construction and expansion happening behind me. We are so grateful for everybody that has been involved so far up to this point in getting this to happen. It has been years in the making. The vision, the dreams, then the plans, the phone calls, the emails, numerous hours of discussions, and probably bidding wars. I mean, to get the job, it's been amazing so far. I've just been grateful to be a bystander and observer. So thank you. I would first like to introduce our Vista School Board President, Matt Midioni. He's here among us. Thank you, Matt, for being here. Dana McConnell is here. Our Vista Foundation president is here. If there's anybody else out there that is a member of the Vista board, I think Jacqueline and Joshua, thank you for being here. To begin our ceremony, we'd like to invite the Vista Advanced Orchestra and the Youth Symphony of Southern Utah to take their stands and chairs and places. They will be playing the Hallelujah Chorus by George Friedrich Handel under the direction of Mrs. Linda Gadosi DeLuca. When the orchestra is finished playing, our Vista School Board President, Matt Midioni, will speak to us, and then the Vista Intermediate Band and Percussion will play All for One, One for All by Carol Britton Chambers under the direction of Mr. Chris Clegg. Thank you.
That was awesome. About another round of applause. It's going to be a lot more entertaining than anything I have to say, so I apologize for that. First of all, I want to thank everyone for putting on this awesome ceremony. It's great to be a part of it. I appreciate the invite and the opportunity to speak with you today. I recognize not a lot of people out there may know me. That's due to mostly my fault, but I actually don't have any kids that attend Vista yet. They're not old enough, so I don't get to make it out to these awesome events as much as I'd like to. So it's great to be a part here today. For those that don't know me, I'm a PhD research scientist, so I'm used to giving presentations with slides and with numbers and graphs and charts and really putting people into paralysis with numbers and analysis. So, I don't have that with me today, so this might be a struggle, but I'll see how I can do. So for those that don't know me, I moved here to St. George about 4.5 years ago, and when I moved here, I wanted to somehow get involved in the community. Never been anything that I had done before in previous places that I lived, and I had no experience being on a board or involvement in early childhood education, but I just by chance happened to see an advertisement in the newspaper that Vista was looking for board members, and I really didn't know what that meant, but I did some research on Vista, and it looked like an awesome place, and I wanted to be a part of it, and so I put my name in the hat, and somebody must have rigged the election. Yeah, I was fortunate enough to be on the board, and I've been on the board for almost 4 years now. Somehow I got elected to be the chair recently, probably due to Eli. I don't know if you guys know Eli. But yeah, I've been amazed with Vista since day one. It's unlike any school I've ever been in, and I've been around to a lot of different schools. I moved around a lot as a kid, and so I was in a different school every year. But you walk the halls and you see kids with 3D printers and drones and their computer coding, and then all the great music and theatrical performances. That's nothing similar to what was available to me as a kid. And I really think that the driving force behind this expansion and the coolest thing about all this is that we're going to get to continue to do that and continue to do that with more kids. So that's what I'm really excited about. Like I said, there's tons of kids that have always been on our wait list, and that's something that we've tried to remedy, and the expansion will be a great opportunity for more kids to get in the classroom and be able to experience all the great things that Vista has to offer. And of course, this expansion is, as Jake mentioned, there's a tremendous amount of people and effort that have been put forth and will continue to be put forth to expand this school, and I have played a very minuscule, if not insignificant, role in that. And so I can't possibly thank everyone by name, but I do want to kind of do my best to point out some people that have been awesome in this process. The Vista Foundation and the Vista PTA, previous board chairs, Betty, Ariel, Neil Walter, and Dave Hunter. All of our current board members, including Dave Hunter, Josh Akins, who's here, Eli Milne, Michelle Walter, Jacqueline Powell, and Lex Howard. A lot of meetings and a lot of tough decisions to get to this point, but like I said, the board really didn't do most of the work, but we were happy to play a role in it. And so on behalf of previous and current board members, I just want to say thank you to everybody who's helped to make this expansion possible. And then of course Sam and his entire administration team, Chris, Kelly, Troy, Marie, Bruce. You guys really put forth all the effort. It's amazing what you guys have been able to do while still continuing your normal duties here at Vista. And the school has to keep running, right? And so to be able to do that and also juggle all the difficulties associated with the expansion has just been incredible, and we're forever indebted to you for those efforts. Lastly, while it's one thing to secure the funding and make all the decisions to have an expansion, but none of that is really possible at all if not for the people inside the building, and that includes current and past students, teachers, and staff. You guys are really the heartbeat of this school and the whole reason why this expansion exists. If you guys didn't play the role that you did, we wouldn't be able to expand the school, or there'd be no point in doing so. And so you guys are the people that really make Vista unbelievable. Like I said, the driving force behind the expansion, and I really sincerely hope that you all take a great deal of pride in that, and that you guys played a very significant role in this expansion and success of Vista. that's all I had. I just want to thank everybody for their time and everything that you do for Vista, whether it's related to the expansion or not. I want to thank you again for the opportunity to speak today, and I look forward to continued success in the future here at Vista. Thank you.
I'm Mr. Clegg, the band director here at Vista. This is our intermediate band. We had a couple of people missing today, so I'm going to fill in on the tuba. We're going to play a march for you called All for One, One for All. One, two, three.
Thank you, Mr. Clegg and the intermediate band here at Vista. That was awesome. Next on the program is a man who needs no introduction to most of us here. Our fearless leader, Mr. Sam Gibbs, will address us, and following his speech, we'll be pleased to hear from our show choir, the Vista Rising Stars. They're going to sing the song and perform to Come Alive by Justin Paul and Benj Pasek, under the direction of myself, Mr. Abe Nickel, and Mrs. Shelley Thomas. Sam.
I appreciate that introduction, Mr. Thomas. I always promise to keep my remarks brief, and then I never live up to those promises, but I will try to do that today. My heart's really full. I don't think Vista knew what they were getting into when they invited me to join the team. I drove into the parking lot August 3rd in my U-Haul because I hadn't found a place to live yet, and gave my wife the keys and said, come back with the house. I got to work, and walked through the doors, and it has been a spectacular experience ever since that day. I met Mrs. DeLuca the first day. She was running her string camp. I met many of you. I want to thank a lot of people, but before I do that, I just want to share a couple stories. I'll kind of bounce around because that's the way that I do things. One of the privileges that I have as a director here and the principal here is that I get to kind of be the face of the organization. I always tell people I just work here, and the teachers make all the great things happen, but I do get to interact with the public and often get to give tours. And I want to tell two quick stories as I start things off. Not long ago, a set of parents came into the office and just said, how do we get our kids into the school? And as we were interacting with them there, usually we offer to give them a tour and show them different things. And they're like, well, yeah, that'd be great, but we already know we want to be in the school. Just how do we get in? And as we talked to them, they said something that struck me. They said, we drive around town all the time, and we drive past schools. And ordinarily what we see is students walking down the street with their shoulders hunched over and their backpacks dragging on the ground, and they're off to school. But we drive past your school, and we see the kids skipping down the street, holding hands, and then they get to the door and their face is pressed up against the glass, just waiting to get in. And so we know whatever's going on here, we want our kids to be part of it. And it's really been like that. I'll tell another quick story. Before we were able to select Hughes as our construction company, I had the blessing of giving the pre-bid tour to all the construction companies. And there were quite a few, and they brought in their teams, and I was walking around 50 or 60, I call hardened construction manager folk, and I was showing them the school because I wanted to know what our school was like before they bid on it. And I had become a professional eavesdropper in this job. It's really important. But I could hear this rumbling as I walked around, all this, are you kidding me? They do that? They do this? Are you? And here are these 30 and 40 and 50 something men just in awe of what happened at our school. And that's how I feel about this place. And I know that many of you do as well. I get to get up and come to work every morning and be at this place. There are a lot of people I want to thank. I don't want to forget people, but I'm sure I will. But there's just a number of people I need to really thank. Matt mentioned a few of them, but originally Mr. Neil Walter was board chair when he offered me the opportunity to come here. And so I want to thank him personally, and then all the board members, those that have been mentioned, for trusting me and giving me the opportunity to come here and work here. They're not present today, at least I didn't see them. Mayor Hart and Ivan City Council have had to tolerate quite a bit of me and Vista, whether it be traffic or all the other things we do, but I'm grateful to them for working with us on this project and helping us get this out the gate. Joe Smith, Jason Joy, there's a bunch of other people here from Method. I think Jason Bright's here. I don't know who else I missed from Method Studios. They have designed for us the spectacular building that you're going to see some slides on and what's going on here. And I'm so grateful to them. Baird Capital that helped us figure out how to sell bonds and finance this building. Gene Madsen and all of Hughes Construction. I know David Smith's here. I think Brittany Boyle's here. I know I'm missing people from Hughes, but if all the Hughes folks can wave to us for a second, they're making this thing happen for us. Dana McConnell with Vista's Foundation. She has been just a blessing and a gift every day since I met her. And I appreciate all the work that she does, along with our PTO president, and some of her team are here sitting in the middle. I do want to thank each member of my staff. Matt mentioned them. Troy, Marie Ehlers, Chris Barnum, Kelly Geary, Bruce Hatch, all the administrative assistants. But for the last 2 years, they've taken on a lion's share of the work so that I could take on this project. And they have slaved and sacrificed. So I really want to thank the administrative team. I most want to thank the teachers and staff for what they have done and what they continue to do every day here. If you can help me give a round of applause to all those people and anyone who are in this situation. Now, a school goes through evolution, especially a charter school. I wasn't here in the early days where people like Troy and Marie and Kelly were out recruiting in the library and at the grocery stores and just trying to find students and teachers to come work here. I hear the stories of us starting class in the Dixie Center because we didn't have a building and didn't have a place to teach, and all the students all in one room with curtains dividing them, and well, we've come a long way since then. One of the things I think has always been my responsibility from when I came here, not only was to try and run a good building that was clean and healthy and safe and to promote programs, but it was to build a foundation for the future. Try and set something that is for forever. And so I want to talk about that for just a second. This addition, this annex, is a dream come true for me and for many, many other people. When this building's completed, we will create a school campus that is nearly 100,000 square feet in learning space for students. I'll run through a few things. If you haven't seen the designs, it hopefully will become an even greater center of the Ivins community for learning, technology, and the arts. It will contain a huge proscenium theater that seats, I believe, 510 students for all of our theater and musical productions, a state-of-the-art music room, choral room, dance rooms, as well as practice rooms. I regret that although I put some fantastic groups here on the program, I haven't been able to emphasize our technology department. Our entire technology department is here, and I didn't make them come drive robots or fly drones around. But we will have a brand new makerspace and 2 technology labs, as well as a scene shop that are being created. We'll have 2 state-of-the-art classrooms for science where we can blow things up. I'm really excited for that. We'll have a counseling center where students can come and talk about their lives and also plan for their futures and determine who they want to be. One of the main responsibilities that Vista has is to help children come and discover who they're supposed to be. We here get to provide an education that is full enough and round enough, well-rounded enough, that every child can come here and figure out who he or she is, what he or she loves, and then start down the pathway of becoming the man or woman that they're supposed to be. I think that's the greatest privilege that we can have as a school is to do that. I want to talk to the teachers for just a second and to the families. you have such an amazing impact on people. The famous Dr. Phil said that you can interview people and find there are 5 pinnacle experiences that each of them have. He said generally at least 1, if not 2 of those have to do with their school experiences. That's to do with a teacher, a friend, a peer, a mentor. And that can be for good or for bad, but generally what they find here is good. The late Neil Maxwell said something that has always stuck with me, but I think it's really applicable here. He said, far too often, as leaders in our community, we are remembered fondly when we might have touched others deeply. What I see happening here is a group of committed individuals coming together and touching the lives of children deeply, changing who they become. I know that's true of my own children who all attended here. I make the joke that my middle son, who's not here right now because he's performing in a show across town, you ought to go see it. When we came here, he was nothing but basketball all the time. Now I cannot get him to shut up. He is singing till 2 in the morning, and the opportunity to be involved here has transformed who he is and what he's like. This addition, I believe, will set a foundation for the future, really a foundation for forever. The tiny school that started with a few people coming together and had to go to the grocery stores to try and find students and teachers will be a center for the community for forever to come. We lost one of those founding people this week. I want to talk about him just for a second because I think he symbolizes what Vista is. Many of you will know Mr. May, our first crossing guard. He passed away this week at, I believe, the age of 93. I'm not certain. He came every morning, every afternoon, and then he would come volunteer at lunch and recess all day long, just be around the kids. If you drove through the community, he often yelled at you to slow down or even smacked your car with a stop sign if he thought you weren't safe, because he was a lion defending the kids. He retired just this past year, like I said, at near the age of 93, and he passed on last week. I found it interesting that in his obituary photo, the photo that his family chose to use was him in his Vista shirt with his name tag on it. Now, this is a man who served with honor in World War II and in the Korean War. He had family and friends and was well known across the country. He was a truck driver and he traveled the country and met people. He was as wonderful a man as you could meet. He was a loving father, a grandfather, but his family chose to represent him to the world in his last photo with a picture of Vista. Because he transformed us, but Vista also transformed him. This place changes lives, and it will continue to do so. It's an honor and a privilege to teach here and work here. It's my sincere desire that Vista will continue to influence all who come here in a lifelong manner. They'll be touched deeply and have a foundation for a life that is filled with greatness and wonder. Thank you for coming today and joining with me in celebrating this great addition to our Vista home. I was asked to introduce, I think it's Brittany Boyle from Hughes. She's going to take us through the actual ground-breaking stuff.
On behalf of Hughes General Contractors, we are so excited to be part of this expansion in your growing community. We've had our office here in the Southern Utah area for 35 years, and we pride ourselves on being an educational contractor. So we are so excited to be part of Vista's growing and expansion community. And we just want to say thank you to Vista students, staff, the board of directors, as well as the design team at Method Studio. So thanks.
If you've been invited to brandish one of the golden shovels over here, now's the time. Thank you, Sam, Joshua, Jacqueline, and Matt. Thank you so much. That was awesome. And thank you to everyone for being present today. We almost beat the wind, so we're there. One final thank you, I think, goes to Mrs. Shelley Thomas and Mrs. Kelly Geary for organizing this event, making the emails, the phone calls, texts, plans to get this to come together. The PTO president and those involved in the decorations, we're thankful to you too for putting that together. Looks awesome. I love this school, and I love the people involved with it. So I'm grateful for the opportunity to have emceed the event today. So before I turn off the mic for good, I'd like to invite those of you here to join us in the gym cafetorium, as we call it, for a brief reception. There's treats, and there will be a slideshow of some of the renderings and designs of the interior and exterior of our new building. And that's it. Thank you all.